So there are AI skills that employers are desperate for, and you can learn most of them with Claude without writing a single line of code. And these skills pay. In fact, jobs are asking for AI skills that are paying a 56% wage premium. And companies are throwing money at this and they still can't find people who can actually do it. And most AI advice out there is slop from people who've never built a damn thing, but this is the exact opposite. See, my business partners and I have helped literally tens of thousands of people get jobs, and most of these jobs are perfectly related to AI, like digital marketing, sales, technology jobs, as well as operations jobs. And so we know exactly the skills that businesses are looking for. And on top of that, I run an 8-figure company and we have been on the cutting edge of AI ever since it came out. So these are gonna be 5 skills, a real person getting paid for each one, and the exact Claude move to start tonight. And stick to the end because all 5 share one thing that's an opportunity by itself. No coding necessary, no degrees necessary, none of it. And if you appreciate me making this type of content, then let me know by gently cheersing that like button, and let's jump into it right now. Okay, so skill number 1 is going to be prompt engineering. And that's just a fancy way of saying knowing how to talk to AI so that it gives you something useful instead of generic garbage. And here's why it matters to an employer. Companies have paid for these AI tools and they're getting garbage out of them because their people type in lazy half prompts. And this isn't just me hyping it up. In a survey of more than 1,000 American workers, 85% said that prompting will be a must-have job skill within 5 years. And a real person making a living on this is Jeff Su. So he's a former Google employee with more than 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And one of his most popular videos is basically a prompting masterclass. And he now calls himself one of the largest online educators in the world. And he says that Claude is his go-to for writing and analysis. So here's the skill in one picture. A bad prompt is, write me a marketing email. A good prompt is, tell Claude exactly who the customer is, what you're selling, and what objection to handle, and what tone to use. And then interview me until you have enough information to give me a good answer. Always add that to the prompts. Same tool, wildly different result. And it goes way deeper than emails. In my own business, we dropped all of our sales calls into Claude and asked it for one thing. And that one move made us dramatically better at our jobs. And prompt engineering is the easiest of the 5 to start today. You drop something really good in and you get gold out of it. Now the thing is, you could get hired just as a prompt engineer. There's a lot of part-time work, freelancer work, people even hire businesses to do this, and companies are even hiring full-time. But you can also just add a prompt engineering skill set into whatever you already do. So an example of that, we work with one client who helps people to get data analysis jobs. And she made it to multiple 7 figures a year doing this. And of course, she's integrating AI into it. And that makes her candidates seem much more valuable than someone who is resisting AI. So whether you want to get a job just doing this on its own, or you want to add it to whatever you're doing already to make yourself much more valuable, this is an incredibly good skill to learn. And that's going to apply to a lot of the ones on this list. With that being said, skill 2 is going to be AI tool integration. And this is knowing how to chain a few AI tools together so that they can run a task for you automatically, start to finish. Now, lots of people can use one tool. Almost nobody can make several of them work together. And companies aren't just wishing for this, they're hiring for it. In Microsoft's 2025 work report, nearly half of leaders said that their company is already using AI agents to automate workflows, and they have a third plan to hire people specifically to build them in the next year. So a great person to look at here is going to be Nate Herc. He was a business intelligence analyst at Goldman Sachs with no real coding background, and he walked away from that job to teach this. And he built a channel over 500,000 subscribers, all from a guy who couldn't code 2 years ago. And he's publicly shown a single batch of 4 automation builds that brought in $23,000. So here's the simple version, and it's the whole skill. You use Claude as a brain in the middle. One tool grabs the data, Claude reads it and decides what to do, and another tool takes the action. So you're not building the robot, you're the manager who tells the robot what to do. And that manager is exactly who companies are trying to hire right now. All right, guys, quick break. This video is sponsored by me. I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing a live training this week where I'm going to be revealing the YouTube content advantage in 2026. It is a completely free training, no strings attached. In fact, I'm giving away even more bonuses at the training. Just as an example, I'm going to be giving away my niche validator. And this is going to be available for both Claude as well as ChatGPT, which is a super valuable piece of software where you can finally figure out what the best niche for you is. So do not miss out on this training. Make sure you sign up for it down in the description and the pinned comment below, because you only get it if you join the training. So if you don't join now, you might miss it. But that being said, in the workshop, you'll get to meet me. You'll get to ask me questions directly. So I look forward to meeting you. So click the link in the description, the pinned comment below. Make sure you put it on your calendar. And if for whatever reason you missed out on it, you weren't able to attend, make sure you still click that link, because we might be having workshops in the future as well, and you'll be the first to know about it. So yeah,
Hope to see you there. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Okay, skill 3 is AI data analysis. Now, this is kind of what I was talking about before. So do not glaze over this because I'm not talking about becoming some sort of data scientist or some sort of math whiz. I get it. Most people are not good at math. I totally understand. I'm talking about pointing AI at a pile of numbers and getting plain English answers back. And this might be the single hottest skill in the entire market. So the World Economic Forum ranks AI and big data as the #1 fastest growing skill through 2030, with 86% of employers saying that it's about to reshape their business. And the proof here is Tina Huang. She was an actual data scientist at Meta, and she now runs a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers teaching normal people how to do this. And she even built her own data and AI school on top of the channel. Now, here's how simple this actually can be. You take a spreadsheet, you give it to Claude, and you ask it questions like a human. In my own business, we use this to figure out exactly what kind of customers that we attract, and work that we used to pay an analyst real money for. I'm talking reports that used to cost us $5,000 to do, we can now do much faster and for a fraction of the cost as well. So now it's a conversation with Claude that takes a few minutes or maybe an hour max. And every industry has data. Every industry needs the person who can read it with AI. Now, quick pause because this is where it gets practical. Every step that I'm showing you, I've got actual Claude skills and prompts for it, and I'm gonna be dropping them in the description and the pinned comment below. Okay, skill 4 is gonna be AI content optimization. And this is not making new content with AI, which everybody's already doing. This is using AI to make content that you already have perform way better. So every company is sitting on a graveyard of old blog posts, videos, and emails that cost them a fortune that are just gathering dust. And the demand for this is exploding way faster than people can keep up. For instance, marketing job posts that ask for AI skills more than doubled in a single year, up 113%, while only about 4% of marketers have actually picked those skills up. So if you are an early adopter, you are gonna have a massive advantage. And if you start right now, you absolutely are early. So a creator who teaches exactly this is Sabrina Romanov. And she grew over 1.4 million followers in about 15 months, completely solo using these AI systems. And before all this, she co-founded a startup that sold for more than $10 million. So she is not guessing. So here's the Claude version of this skill, and it's my favorite. You take everything that you've already made, you load it into a Claude project, and you ask it what to do. Matt Wolf, who we'll meet here in a second, does exactly this. He loads his real analytics into a Claude project and treats it like a producer that knows his whole business. And it can turn money that a company already spent into brand new results. And they'll hire you for that tomorrow. All right, the 5th skill ties everything together, and it's AI-assisted problem solving. So this is knowing which AI tool to reach for when and how to point it at the real problem. And here's the stat that should light a fire under you. In a Microsoft and LinkedIn survey, 66% of leaders said that they would not hire someone without AI skills, and 71% would take a less experienced person who had them over a veteran who doesn't. So the perfect example of this, like I said before, is Matt Wolf. He has over 900,000 subscribers, and he built his whole brand on testing AI tools and telling you which one to use for which job. And on top of the channel, his newsletter reaches nearly 250,000 people every single week. Now, here's what this looks like in real life. A while back, my team and I were stuck on a nasty problem inside Facebook's ad manager, and we could not crack it. Now, if you've ever used the Facebook Ads Manager, they change stuff in there all the time. They also beta test different stuff. So even if you try to look up what to do, chances are you're looking at different settings than everybody else is. And so it's a massive headache. But we used a tool that can actually see your screen, asked it what to do, and it solved the exact thing 2 humans couldn't. Specifically, it was the Google Vision tool. Now, we don't actually use Google AI or Gemini AI for that many things. We typically stick with Claude, but this is where knowing which tool to use is so valuable. Right? If you try to use a hammer to hammer in a screw, you are gonna have a bad time. Now, just to be clear, Claude is my default for thinking, writing, strategizing, and probably about 95% of the things we do on a day-to-day basis. But again, the skill is knowing when something else wins, knowing what tool to use in the right circumstance. And companies pay a premium for the person who knows the whole toolbox, not just one hammer. And for advanced projects that we've done where we've actually created our own software or our own apps or our own automations, we almost always use Claude, and specifically Claude Code. Now, Claude Code might sound really difficult to use, but actually it's pretty simple. You can learn it in just a few hours, but that's a topic for a different video. Now, those are the 5: prompt engineering, tool integration, data analysis, content optimization, and problem solving. Now, look back at the 5 people I just showed you. Jeff Su, Nate Herc, Tina Huang, Sabrina Romanov, and Matt Wolf. Notice what every single one of them has in common. Every single one of them teaches these AI skills on a YouTube channel. And that is not a coincidence. The fastest way that anybody is turning an AI skill into real money right now is by building an audience around it. And YouTube is the only place that's a social platform and a search engine at the same time, which makes it more powerful than anything else for getting found. And the best part is you make one video and you can bring new people every single day for years. And what's going to happen in this industry is people are going to start making AI specific content about specific careers, specific niches, specific industries, products, services, etc., etc. For instance, I make AI specific content, generally speaking, about how to build your brand, how to automate things in your business, and how to make really good content. And one of the most popular pieces of AI that we've ever created is the niche validator, because so many people out there have no idea what niche to pick. And luckily for you, we are going to be giving away the niche validator this week if you click the link in the description in the pinned comment below at our live training. So it's a completely free live training. We're going to give you away the niche validator. We're going to help you pick your niche, teach you exactly step by step how to start your personal brand. And at the end, you can literally ask me any question that you want about how to do it. Now, I know that most of you are just going to take this and run with it on your own, and that is exactly what I want. I always want to give 100 times more value than what I receive, and I think I've actually done that. But a very small percentage of you are going to want to work with me one-on-one to help you get there as fast as humanly possible. You don't want to take potentially years figuring it out on your own. Or you might want us to just literally do the work for you. So if that's you, go ahead and book a call by clicking the link in the description in the pinned comment below. We only work with about 18% of people who apply. We can only work with a very limited amount of people at a time as well. But if that's you, the application link is in the description and the pinned comment below. And if you don't believe that this is gonna work for people, well, I took a random person in my family, my own brother who's over 50 years old, isn't tech savvy, and never created a video in his life. And we got him from absolute zero to making a full-time income in less than 1 month. And if you wanna see exactly how we did that, go ahead and click the link right here to watch that video.